So I see some people in my comments saying, why would y'all listen to anything she gotta say? She believes that the earth is flat, blah, blah, blah. I'm about to tell y'all why I believe the earth is flat. And I'm not forcing anybody to believe that the earth is flat, but I'm about to tell you for my reason why I believe the earth is flat. First off, God told Isaiah the difference between a ball and a circle when describing the earth. Yah said he created the earth as a circle and stretched it out. And after that, he put a tent over it to keep us from going outside of the firmament, as he sits on top of it using it as a footstool. This is how he describes the earth. He also said he set the earth on its foundation so it cannot move. A foundation is a flat surface. He says the earth should never be moved, but scientists says that it's moving 1,040 miles per hour. He also talks about the four corners of the earth. A ball does not have corners, but a flat surface do. He created a firmament over the earth, creating anybody from going in or out, which also proves NASA is fake. He also talks about the four corners of the earth. A ball does not have corners, but a flat surface do. As I said, God told Isaiah the difference between a ball and a circle when describing the earth. If y'all don't know, the Hebrew Bible was the first Bible. The word circle can be described as a compass. The word corner can be described as quarter. He says he sets the earth as a compass. This is what he means when he states the corners of the flat earth. He also said he set the earth on its foundation so it cannot move. A foundation is a flat surface. He says the earth should never be moved, but scientists says that it's moving 1,040 miles per hour. There was a time that Yah told the sun to stay still and the moon stayed also, meaning it had to be moving for him to tell them to stay still. God also says he would deal with those who added and took away from his word. There was a verse in the Bible that proved that the earth was flat by saying it was flat. But the New International and King James Version has added and took away from God's actual word. And for those who mock and laugh at my videos and duet, remember they mocked and laughed at Noah too when he built that ark. Oh yeah, and I also want to say that NASA is fake. They did not go to the moon. God said he made two greater lights. He created the greater light to rule the day, such as the sun. He created a lesser light to rule the night, such as the moon. Why do you think some days you will see a quarter of a moon, 3/4 of a moon, then see a full moon? That's because it's luminary. It's a light. It's not created as a solid object. So you couldn't land on the moon or the sun if you wanted to. It's a light. God also says he put the moon and the sun inside of the firmament of the earth. But NASA is saying that they gotta go to space just to land on the moon. Come on, don't contradict yourselves, Christians. They even got y'all thinking that other planets exist. Do y'all know the name of these planets came from pagan Roman gods? Don't you think when God said he created the earth, moon, and the sun, he would have said he created other planets? Yeah, your whole life is a lie. Other planets don't exist. I'm pretty sure when God said he created the heavens and the earth, he would have named Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter also. I've been waiting for this question. God says, who commands the sun, and it does not rise? Okay, so on y'all's globe earth, y'all believe that the sun is setting and rising, but in reality, that's just your perspective. The sun and the moon are not setting and rising. The sun and the moon are rotating. The sun is not actually rising and setting. The sun and the moon are rotating. The farther that it gets to the other side of the earth is making it look as if it's going down. Have you guys not heard of a vanishing point? The sun is not setting or rising. The sun and the moon rotates. The farther that it gets from us, it makes it seems like it's setting, as you can tell. And as it comes back around to us, it makes it seem as it's rising. Do y'all remember when I said that God made the world as a compass? Do you get it? Do you get it now? Do you get it now? The sun and the moon are closer than what you think. And it's also smaller than what you think. This makes no sense. Pause and read this. And honestly, if you just stop listening to all of these lies and letting them brainwash you, all this stuff will make common sense. That's all I'm saying. My guy. Now, I don't know if y'all remember me talking about the firmament of the earth. And if you don't, just scroll down and go watch my flat earth video pertaining to the Bible. But I'm about to show y'all something interesting. Alright, well now I'm about to speak to y'all about the waters above the firmament. God says he put water above the firmament and below the earth. Now I want y'all to check something out. I'm about to show y'all a scientist who went deep down into the ocean and tells us what he's seen. He's gonna be telling y'all how he went into the ocean. Pay close attention to what he's saying. He's gonna be telling us how he went into the ocean and how he's seen another pond of water. But how is that possible if he's already underwater?
And inside the ring of mussels was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm already underwater. And now, over the water in this lake and trying to descend in it and bounced off. It was so super saline and dense that the submarine couldn't go down in it. We literally bounced off. And as we bounced off, we sent ripples heading back to the shoreline. It was insane.
Now remember what I said. God said he put water above the firmament and below the firmament. So this scientist was saying that that was still a pond of water, but it was like jello type water. And it allows you to hit it, but you bounce off. And it also sends ripples through it, just like regular water. Now let me show you a video of a rocket going into the air. This is a video of when they sent a rocket into the sky. They keep saying that the rockets are running out of fuel, but that's not the case. Pay close attention right here. This is when it impacts the dome, the firmament of the earth. As it begins to scrape along it, it sprays water. The water above the firmament. Looks like a motorboat, right? After a while, the rocket finally explodes and sends a ripple tide through the waters above the firmament. Just like what that scientist said when he found what looks like a lake in the ocean. And when they bounced off of it, it sent ripple tides through it. But they got y'all thinking it's the smoke from the rocket. Woo! This study gave me chills. When you actually think about it, it's so crazy. Man, God is good. My guy. I've actually been waiting for this question. I'm about to show you a video how the stars look when you zoom up on them. And if you think I'm lying about that's how stars look like when you zoom up on them, just wait till nighttime hits and I want you to go outside and record a star and keep zooming up on it. Now tell me, this is exactly how it looks, right? Now the water are making those shapes off of sound, frequency, and vibration. Have you ever zoomed up to a star and seen that it was changing colors? Like these ones. That's because the colors are based off wavelength interval and frequency interval. Water is a diamagnetic, which repels a magnetic field. Now watch this video to see where I'm going with this.
This star in a jar is made when a sound wave is passed through a small bubble inside a flask of liquid. And this sound wave makes the bubble do something remarkable. First it expands, then it collapses. And this collapse happens so violently that vapor molecules trapped inside the bubble slam together and heat up so much that the bubble gives off an incredible burst of heat and light, several thousand times a second, giving the appearance of a star.
Those are the words from the science world. Now in the beginning it says this star was made from a sound wave that is passed from a small bubble inside of liquid. Now listen, in the beginning it was the Word, and the Word was God, and with God. He said, let there be light, and there was light. Sound, vibration, the Word of God, water from the firmament. My guy. Alright, so this is part 2. So if you haven't watched part 1, go back to that video, which is before this video, and go watch it before you start to watch this video. Or you're going to be completely lost about this video. Alright, so I don't know if y'all know, but they put magnetics on some people's houses. And they gain electricity from the sun hitting on top of those metal pallets on top of their houses. As I was saying in the first video, water is a diamagnetic. It repels the magnetic field. Now let's go back to talking about the water above the firmament. I know everybody have seen lightning before. But have you ever wondered where the thunder came from? This is the big boom, the thunder before the lightning strikes down. This is a picture that scientists took when they got on a plane and flew on the top of the clouds when it was lightning and thundering. This is what's coming out of the firmament, the big thunder that you hear before the lightning strikes down. As everybody knows, lightning is electricity. Y'all don't know, but the earth itself is a magnetic field. Now look at this. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets to the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibrations. Electrical energy, frequency, and vibration is literally everywhere on Earth. And the Earth actually functions as an energy plate. Much like what Tesla created with the purple plate. Or coil as the electric magnetic base. Think about the ocean. Stars are actually dancing glimpses of light, interacting with the water above the firmament. Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto came up with a new way to capture messages through water. He'll take samples of water and freeze them, minus 25 degrees. After a few hours, he will analyze the water under a dark field microscope with photographic capabilities in a lab at a constant temperature of minus 5 degrees. He then tested out different audio frequencies and human sound vibrations on each sample. He focused on the way human vibration energy, thoughts, words, and music, and how it affects the molecular structure of water. Here are some of his results of the pictures when he used certain words and music, and how it affected the water. It's similar to the way cymatics work. As the pitch of the tone increases, geometric patterns will form and become more complex. Cymatics, or sound frequency, in water resembles the pulsating pattern of what an actual star looks like when you zoom in on it. So remember, God spoke the word into being, and it was so. Such as words, speech, sound, vibration. He spoke that into being. The stars are from his word, as he spoke it into the water of the firmament. Him speaking created bubbles in the water. With the high enough frequency, the bubbles can burst into light. Electromagnetism actually perfectly explains how our sun and moon rotates on a flat earth. The sun and moon are not round bodies of rock or gas. They are discs that rotate our earth like a clock, but in a coil-like spiral, dictating the seasons and the climate as it goes. When the sun is beyond the equator ring, the northern hemisphere experiences summer, and the southern hemisphere experiences winter. Inversely, when below the equator, the southern hemisphere experiences summer, and the northern hemisphere experiences winter. And I know a lot of y'all probably wondering, like, but I see the sun rise and set every day. But that's not the case. Have you ever heard of a vanishing point? For example, when someone's on a boat in the water and y'all say that y'all see them curve, it's really a perspective. If you get a phone and zoom up to that person in the boat, they're actually just getting farther away. They're not curving on the horizon. It's just your perspective from where you're at. For example,
You can't see the boat with the naked eye, but once we zoom in with a telescope, well, the boat comes right back into view. It did not disappear over a curved body of water. Now, let's pan back out to what we would call our regular vision. Here, right about here, you're going to be seeing your vanishing point. With the naked eye, you can't see that. As you can see here, the sun is about 2/3 behind the horizon. But once we zoom in with the telescope, well, it pops right back over the ocean. And there it goes right back behind the horizon. Sorry for the blurriness. It's a little windy on this video, actually.
So basically, as the sun is setting, it seems as if it's going down. And as it's rising, it seems as if it's coming up. But in reality, it's just going farther away, as the sun and the moon are rotating the earth. That's why it be dark in some places and light in other places. Because the sun and the moon are rotating around the earth. And the climate change is when it's coming in and farther away, which makes it hotter and cooler, depending how far and close it is.
Disappears due to perspective. And here's another example. The line is tied perfectly even across the counter, and the bottles are sitting level on the countertop. Now let's look at it from the counterpoint view.
The Earth is a closed system.
The Earth is a closed system.
We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
I guess I'm up against the highest, hardest stained glass ceiling. And it may be hard to see tonight, but we are all standing under a glass ceiling right now. It's fine for all this talk about me running to break the big, hard glass ceiling. And although we weren't able to shatter that highest, hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it. And the light is shining through like never before.
There's a mystery. Scattered around in the sand are thousands of chunks of strange yellow-green glass.
It is really, really a mysterious glass. We scientists are still kind of puzzled how these things form.
And I can't believe we just put the biggest crack in that glass ceiling yet. It's got about 18 million cracks in it.
Test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit. Beyond low Earth orbit. Beyond low Earth orbit.
The kinds of technologies that we're testing out on Space Station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit. So we have a really robust exploration program at NASA.
The plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually. The moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to. The moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to. The moon. Enjoy reading now. And I played a lot of sports. And all of that happened in a little town called York, Maine, across the United States from where we're talking to you right now. Hello, my name is...
As I was saying, you can't go outside the firmament of the earth. At this point, you just got to see it through, my boy. My guy. Alright, so we are told that the Earth's magnetic field extends from Earth's interior out into space, where it interacts with solar wind, a stream of charged particles that's caused from emanating from the sun. We are also told that Earth tilts on an axis, and as if there was an enormous ball, magnetic, placed at an angle in the center of the Earth, which is definitely not true. But they are right on one thing. There is a strong magnetic presence on Earth, and it appears to be located in the north. And that's why compasses point north on a plane, because y'all see it like this. And here's why there's such a strong pulling towards the north. Because the north is actually the center, and south is the entire continent of Antarctica, the ice wall. And east and west is the circular rotation around the north center, with the south on its exterior. That's why it can seem like you're traversing the entire Earth, while traveling east in a straight line. So you end up where you're starting, not because the Earth is a globe, and you're traveling in a straight line, but it's because when you keep the compass pointing towards the east, you are in fact traveling in a circle. And that's from speaking on a flat Earth point of view, containing the Bible. If there's any more questions, just comment them down in my comments, and I'll be answering as many as I can. Praise the Most High, Yah our Elohim.